jump in here and talk about what people need to do to find clients in not just this business, the medical billing business, but any business. If somebody stumbled on this webinar just because you were looking for something to do this afternoon, we're going to tell you what we do as a company to help our licensees or our business owners, people who purchase our business opportunity. We show them how to get clients, and by doing that, you can adapt these things to just about any business except, I guess, Subway sandwich.
Yeah. Well, folks, let me tell you a couple of things that you might need to know, and that is, obviously, most of you know where the question box is, so Patrick and I are going to monitor that. Also, if you'll go over to your control panel, there's another little grayed out area over there that says handouts. So if you'd like to, you can go grab those handouts. That's a PDF over there, so grab those. You can follow along with Patrick and me. Yeah, Patrick, obviously, one of the ways that you need to figure out how to get to your first client, that most important client, is to position yourself as the expert. Now, Patrick, we both know that getting into the medical billing business opportunity, probably not a lot of people are billers or medical coders.
Right.
What would you say? You know, the amount of folks that actually come into this business have any background in
maybe 1 or 2% at the most over the years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people have no background in the medical field whatsoever.
Right.
Those who do, of course, there may be some advantage there in that you kind of know some of the terminology, but we teach all of that from scratch, and that's what we're illustrating on the screen here, by the way, is we do live one-on-one training, virtual training over the internet with an instructor, a live instructor. So you can see her up in the corner there, and that's basically what we do, is teach you everything from scratch that you need to know about our business.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what you're going to get through, and when you get through with this training, you're going to have a certification as a certified medical revenue manager. That is the first step of placing yourself as an expert. You've got to have something that you can go, hey, I am a certified professional or CPA, whatever a CPA, certified public accountant. The CMR, the certified medical revenue manager, is obviously given out after you've completed the training here and successfully completed the training here at American Business Systems from this organization called MIRMA.
Yeah, MIRMA is a nationwide organization. In fact, it's the largest network of medical billing company owners in the United States. And we helped found this organization a few years back because we wanted you to get training and support from an organization that the doctors even can go to this website and see that we have a huge number of experts that are on our National Advisory Board, for example. So we want to encourage you to go there. It's MIRMA.org, M-R-M-A-A. You can see that up here in this little logo right here, .org. And when you go there, be sure and look for our National Advisory Board, and you'll see some people, including Dr. Vicki Rackner is on that, and some CEOs of some big organizations that are a part of our network. That is, they are technological partners with us and have been for these past 26 years, helping our licensees to offer solutions to doctors for their cash flow. It's all about helping the doctors get as much money in as they possibly can from the efforts that they're putting in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then position yourself as the subject matter expert. We actually do that through some very strategic marketing pieces, and that could be anything from the books that we have to some of the marketing pieces. But Patrick, let's talk really quickly about these 3 books that you're talking about. I think you've got those actually on your desk with you in front of you.
Yes, I wanted to show this because, folks, this is an actual paperback book that you can get on Amazon. But don't go out there and order it. We got it priced at $24.95 because doctors like to think that they get value the more money they spend for cars and anything else, you know. So it's pretty highly priced for a paperback book. But you can get a copy of this from your ABS rep. Now, we're going to give you information towards the end of the webinar as to how to get back with that person, but they're the ones that invited you to this webinar. And just ask them for a copy of this, an electronic copy, and we'll send it to you so you can preview the book. But you'll notice here on this next slide, at the bottom of the book, and I think it's right here on this book too, see down there at the bottom? Forward by Susan Smith, C MRM. Now that's Certified Medical Revenue Manager. That's the designation that you can put after your name on all of your literature and marketing materials. And the nice thing is that that's on the front cover of the book. It's also inside here on the front page. So your name is right there along with mine and Dr. Rackner. Imagine having your name on a book that is authored by a doctor. It gives you huge credibility, folks. So when we say position yourself as the expert, here's one of the ways you do that. You associate yourself with a doctor, and we'll tell you more about Dr. Vicki Rackner, but basically you partner with her when you get into our business. She partners with you. She gives you a reference letter to introduce yourself to the doctors in your area. It gives you huge credibility. And then in the book, you can write a foreword to the book. We'll give you some hints as to how to do that, or we've got one standard that you can just put your name at the end of it there. So you got your name, your company name, your phone number, your web address, all the contact information. So Eric, this is what I call a kind of an expensive business card, but to give these out to the doctors that you're really interested in talking to, we'll show you how to get it into the hands of the doctors and how to market here, just like I have this one with some little sticky tabs to highlight some things in the book. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later, but that's one of the ways you can position yourself is put your name on the front cover of a book with a doctor.
Well, one of the things that we try to do, Patrick, here at ABS is duplicate the success that ABS has. Obviously, folks, let's talk about this real quickly. ABS hasn't been around for 26 years just because they're lucky. The ABS has been around for 26 years because they're doing something right. And one of the things that Patrick and the team has done really well is marketing stuff like books and stuff like that. But the best thing that I think that we do, Patrick, we do webinars better than anybody else out there in the marketplace. And so what we're going to do is teach you how to position yourself as the expert for educational webinars. Now, don't freak out just yet, because it's Myrma who is actually putting on the webinar for you. So we do what's called these done for you webinars. And what we do, we get a subject matter expert that may be coming in and talking about HIPAA compliancy, or we may bring somebody in that is going to talk to you about or talk to the doctors about coding issues or things that are happening with COVID. How about having a webinar that's already been made for you, to which all you're going to be doing is going out and going to the doctors and inviting your potential clients to a webinar. Patrick, I think you can show that next slide there. Shows another example of what these done for you webinars kind of look like. So folks, if you just can imagine that we are doing the marketing for you, that's a huge amount. I mean, because I think, Patrick, you've done a lot of research on companies that can teach you how to do webinars. You could probably spend $5,000–6,000 just on how to someone learn how to do webinars.
We have, yeah. As a company, we've spent more than that probably learning how to do them professionally, how to promote them, how to get people to attend, to sign up, and to actually show up. You folks are here because we kind of know what we're doing when it comes to webinars. So imagine, like Eric said, we give you all the tools you need to know how to contact the doctors and the office managers in your area and invite them to these webinars. They're free, so they don't pay anything for them. They just show up. And of course, we tie those people to your name and to your email address that you've sent them to us, so we know who invited who, and we can help you to follow up after the webinar with those people. So it's just because we don't mention anything about our company. We don't mention anything other than Myrma being the organization that's presenting the webinar, and they're very professionally, very well received. And yes, our licensees have gotten new clients from these webinars that we do for you. Used to, Eric, as you know, we provided the slides and gave these to the licensees along with a recorded version of it so that they could learn how to do it themselves. But we found most of them didn't want to do that. They felt very uneasy doing a webinar. So we just now do it for them. Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than that.
Yeah, go to that next slide there, slide 22 right there. That kind of shows another picture of it, Patrick. Can you get to slide 22 there?
Oh, yeah. Is that the one?
It's either your screen is frozen or it's not showing the next slide there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I paused it. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. So there's one that was done last year
Yeah,
Whenever.
5 steps to guarantee HIPAA success. Oh, we had a big attendance on this one, Eric. I remember the doctors and office managers were very interested on how to comply with HIPAA because, as you know, they can get fined if they break some of their rules and regulations.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's how it's laid out. It's like as Patrick said, it's put on by MIRMA. It's not put on by American Business System. So nobody's going to have to go back and kind of see who ABS is. So we kind of got that hidden and tucked away very nicely. But it's there for you to have that subject matter expert. Also, so that's the first thing that you're going to want to make sure that gets done, whether you're going into this business or any other business, is to learn how to position yourself as the expert. And that's one of the things that we help you do.
Yeah, so find in your particular industry, if it's not our business, go find somebody who is an expert in that industry.
Right.
Partner with those people. Tell them you want to promote them and their business and partner with them. And so the closer you can tie them to you, the better. Maybe you could both write an article for a blog, for example. Maybe you don't know how to publish a book with your name on the cover like we do and how we do this for our licensees. But the point is we can encourage you to do exactly what we've just told you. Learn how to do webinars on your own. You'd have to do that on your own, of course, and present those webinars and find people in your industry who want to be guests on your webinars. Then you're positioning yourself with them. Okay, Eric?
Yeah. Number two, I mean, hey, Patrick, I mean, if anybody hasn't had a clue yet, we're in the middle of a pandemic.
Right.
And getting out to go visit with the doctors may be a little difficult, but I think that's basically with just about any business. So we have got the expertise to have you find doctors online, and that's either through LinkedIn, through Google My Business, or through Facebook. And we've got the wherewithal to get you started on knowing what to do, how to market yourself online. That's the big thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, digital marketing is where it's at right now, folks. As you know, a lot of people are doing Zoom meetings, and we use GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar for ours. But the point is, now you don't have to go face-to-face with anybody. Now,
Right.
One of the methods we teach is direct contact, and there is a way to go in and leave some material with the doctor's office and not even say anything to them if you want to do that kind of marketing. But Eric, we've had people use that book, for example. I mean, they literally will take this book and hand this to the office manager and say, would you please put this on the doctor's desk? This is just a gift I'd like to give to the doctor. And then we teach them how to actually mark that book up, as you saw the little tabs earlier. And every one of those tabs, if the doctor turns to that page, there are highlighted paragraphs in there. We want the doctor just to read the things that are pertinent, that get their attention. And Eric, I had a licensee I interviewed just a while back that said he gave out 3 of these books. All 3 of the doctors he gave this to marked up like this, called him up and set up appointments with him and said they thought they might have a problem and that he might could help them. So it's a wonderful marketing tool. And folks, if you're worried about getting clients, remember, all you need is one doctor to earn back every penny that you've invested in our business. We do other webinars that you'll find on our YouTube channel going into detail about how little it takes to get an ROI, return on your investment, in our business. So check those out too. Okay.
Yeah, you bet. All right. The next thing that you're going to want to do is obviously have a good web presence. And here's one thing that we know. I think all of us know. Unless you're Amazon, you having a website is not going to always sell your business. However, having a good website is definitely, you need one. And Patrick, we know a lot of times that people kind of get stumped right here because they don't know how to go build a website. So what's included with your package here is a website. You've got several different templates that you can, and Patrick's showing those to you right now, of having a solid looking website with all the content built in it already.
Yeah, Eric, I actually clicked on one of those websites there on that slide, and as you can see, I'm in my web browser. I'm actually looking live here at one of the websites. Now, this is a fake one. It's a sample one that we set up. We call the company up there at the top ABC Solutions, but of course that would be your logo and your company name. And as you can see, we even have a contact page where we'll actually let all the emails come directly back to you. We put your phone number here, of course. And when people fill this out to find out more about what you do, it'll come directly to you. Look at all the services, folks. Now, we haven't gone into detail on this webinar, but every one of these services is something that you can offer to the doctors. And every one of those, as the doctors click on these, or the office manager, whoever's browsing these websites, they're going to find out more about each one of these services that are out there. So Eric, it's about as complete as it gets. For finding clients, you have to have a website, and we don't want you bogged down in developing a website. What we want you to do is just let us design it for you. You pick from one of those many templates that we have, and we just present it back to you with all of your contact information, all about you, of course, in those too.
Folks, remember, we're already 20-something minutes into the webinar, and if you've got any questions, feel free to ask us any questions. We'll certainly help you out as best we can. But again, along with the book that we've already shown you, you got to have, you know, some type of social media presence, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Google My Business. And we've shown you already so far, to help you get set up as that subject matter expert, you got to have a really sharp looking website. And that is what we've just shown you. Now, what you need to do is get introduced to other doctors. That's what you need to do. And we're going to teach you, our trainer will show you how to get online networking going. Now, that is the new key area of what's going on. And it's being done by hundreds of these businesses, whether it's a BNI, whether it's a meetup group. And folks, these things you used to almost have to say, used to have to go to. You have to go to a breakfast, or you have to go to a luncheon and do this. Remember, because of COVID, a lot of these things have gone online now. So it's really helping you get to know other people. Patrick, why don't you talk about the real reason why people need to do online networking? Because obviously these networking groups, you're not necessarily going to find a doctor there, but you're going to find someone who's already working possibly with a doctor already.
Right. What you're looking for is what we call power partners. Now, that's somebody who actually markets their product or service to the same market that you want to tap into, that is doctors in this case. All right. So let's take a financial planner, for example. They love to market to doctors because they help doctors with their money and investments and so forth. And you can partner, we'll show you how to partner with those people on these online networking groups that are out there. And once you've found one of those power partners, then you promote their business, they promote you, they introduce you to doctors, you introduce them to doctors. It's a wonderful way, because then you see you've taken away all of the scared, being scared of a new product or service from the doctor. The doctor already knows this guy. He introduced you to him, and you introduced you to him, and all of a sudden, now the doctor feels comfortable doing business with you. So we can teach you exactly how to do that. And by the way, Eric, I want to go back just to cover number 2 there. If you're not in our business, these things still apply to you, right, Eric? I mean, they still need to be on LinkedIn, Facebook. They need to advertise on Google. They need to have a website, of course. And same way here in number 3, getting other people to introduce you to doctors is the best way for you to get started. And I'd say, Eric, 80% of all of our licensees get their first doctor from an introduction from somebody who does business with doctors. So it's just a marvelous way, but you have to know how to do that. And of course, after 26 years, we've got the knowledge of exactly how to do that, and we teach people step by step how to find those people and get them introduced.
You bet. And so what you're looking for, as Patrick says, you're looking for those power partners, those who are targeting medical practices that are just like you, but they're not competing against you. It's not like you're going to be in one of those organizations or networking meetings that are, you know, there's 5 or 6 other medical billing companies there. Sometimes they limit it just to very specific sectors of business. So whenever you find that in there, you're going to get locked in there, and then everybody's going to say, oh yeah, I was out talking with Dr. So-and-so because I was helping him sell his house, and we got to talking about his billing, and all of a sudden he found out that he needs a new biller. And so obviously I can attach, for someone that's in my network group right there, you're the one that gets called into there. And you're right, Patrick, probably the number one thing that how people get their introduction to their first doctor is through networking like this.
That and their warm market. Believe it or not, folks, we're going to teach you how to let everybody that you know, all your friends and relatives and people in past connections, let them know what you're doing and tell them that you help doctors stay in private practice by increasing their revenue. And they'll introduce you to doctors. There's Eric, I can't tell you how many licensees when I've interviewed them have told me personal stories about sending out a letter. One lady sent out about 200 letters to the people that she knows in her warm market, we call it.
Right.
One of those people, her mother, replied back to her and said, well, honey, if you started this new business for doctors, you need to see my doctor, because the last time I was in there, he was complaining about this and that, and probably need your help. That's how she got her first client. So it can be that simple. We're going to teach you folks that you don't have to be a, quote, salesperson in our business. In fact, Eric, the people who are sales background, they have the hardest time, don't they? Because they try to use marketing methods that just don't apply to doctors.
Yeah, of course, that's exactly correct. Absolutely, folks. Again, don't forget to type in a question if you got a particular question you want to ask us. Now's a great time. The other thing that you want to become is a good educational marketer. And I have to say, Patrick, out of the 13 years that I think I've been with you, I think that's one of the greatest things I've learned is how to be a good educational marketer. And that's one of the good things that ABS has done. And if they've been doing that well for 26 years, imagine what we can help you to become. Become an educational marketer, because again, doctors, they want to connect with other doctors. They want to build relationships with people, but they're going to want to do it with people they trust. And you're going to find out having this book, The New Thriving Medical Practice, that's written by Dr. Vicki Rackner, that's going to help you get into more practices than you just trying to drop off a business card or telling a doctor about your website or anything else, because doctors trust other doctors, Patrick.
Yeah, and we have other books as well, how physicians can get more patients, for example. You'll notice right below Dr. Vicki Rackner's name, you can also put your name there on that. Then we have another book that just came out, Eric, called 10 Critical Questions for Physicians in Private Practice. These are all things that we develop for you. We offer them to you. Now, people have asked, for example, there's somebody asking right now, what do these books cost? Well, with your initial licensing fee, it's kind of like a franchise fee that you pay to get into our business. It's $28,000, by the way. That gets you a supply of these books initially at no cost. Then if you want to reorder the books, they're about $4 a piece, and that's with your name printed on the front cover. Eric, I don't know where you can buy a paperback book for $4 that has your name on the front cover. That's a great marketing tool. And there's the 10 critical questions. We teach you how to highlight pages in that one as well, of course. So
well, it's not just having the name on there, but it's, again, writing the forward to the book too. You're not going to, that's a good spent $4 right there of you thinking marketing. It's cheaper than, going buying lunch for everybody at that doctor's office. If you think
That's right. Then we've also got a secret we're going to reveal to you right here. If you're paying attention, if you're wanting to get into any other business, all these things apply, right? People want to be educated. Folks, that's what we're doing right now. We're educating you. That's all we're doing, right? You haven't heard us selling anything. I just barely mentioned the license fee. That's because we don't believe that people want to buy anything. They want to know and be educated on something, and they'll make their own decision. Eric, I just talked to a new licensee today that had signed up with us just day before yesterday, and they've been on these webinars now for about almost a year.
Wow.
And they said, I just got educated. I kept coming back to your webinars, and all you guys did was just educate me enough to where I felt like that I knew enough to, sign up and become a licensee. So they're starting the training here next week. So the point is, folks, we've learned how to market to people by educating those prospects, in this case, you, to the point where they want to buy your product or service. Now, here's another way we did it, Eric. This is a great idea that I think you came up with. Basically, how do we get these books into the hands of the doctor? Well, one way you can do it is never leave your home. Stick a stamp or two on there. These are oversized, 9x12 envelopes that you hand address. You stamp them with private and confidential, and they go directly to the doctor themselves. Now, Eric, if you're an office manager, most of the time they'll go through the junk mail and throw it away for the doctor. But this, like, when they get this, they feel that there's something in there. There's a book. They can tell that just feeling it. And so they'll just lay it on the doctor's desk because obviously it was meant for the doctor. That's how we do it, folks. There's one secret right there that you can use in any business that we just gave you $1 million idea right there.
Yeah.
How to get past the gatekeeper, we call her.
That's how to get past the gatekeeper. And that could be you can order these envelopes. If you want to go through the U.S. mail, just go to the U.S. mail and just do the same thing there. Just use their packaging that they have there. Folks, there are some creative ways in which you can get your information in front of that doctor. That's one of the best ways that you can do it. Yeah. So the utilization of everything that we've told you so far basically comes with your package, everything, the books, the website, the education, the certification. And so, Patrick, I mean, if we just stopped right now on this information, that's enough to help you at least get your first client.
Yeah, get any business going. And everybody's always concerned, Eric, not in just our business, but every business. When you open up listen, think about the money you spend if you just open up a Subway sandwich shop. I mentioned them earlier. That could be $100,000 plus. And you're wondering, well, how do I get that first person to come in the store? Well, obviously you've got signage and you've got a physical location that they can come to. In our business, you have to reach out to your market, but we're showing you how we do that. And if you do a research on Google as to doctors in your area, Eric, there must be hundreds and hundreds of doctors in any given market, unless you're just in a little bitty town, and then your market might be outside that area. It might be 50 miles out to the next city. It doesn't matter, folks, because all you need is that one doctor, and then you can get referrals from that doctor to doctors all over the United States. Eric, we have licensees, as you know, business owners who have clients all over the United States, and they haven't met most of them. They did it all virtually over the internet to sign them up, because one doctor refers another doctor, that doctor is ready to sign up. You know, they've heard from that doctor. He said, this person solved my cash flow. You need to sign up with them. So basically the paperwork's just done, over the net. But here's another way we came up with too. That's a real good tip right here. What about just not doing any marketing yourself and just automating your marketing by finding sales reps?
But Patrick, there are a lot of different independent contractors out there that are doing something with doctors. Whether they're sales reps, whether they are whatever. I mean, it could be anything from doctors selling, someone selling them insurance to anything. I mean, there's so many independent contractors that are touching those doctors. And sometimes part of your marketing could just be trying to find somebody like that, or you may already know somebody like that. In this scenario, you can see that you could be on one side of the country and the sales rep be on the other side of the country. So your territory, expands the United States.
Yeah, and so we literally go through step by step how to find those people, first of all, how to connect with them, how to interview them, how to hire them, and then how to train them. And we have all the training materials and videos for you to use to train them, and then even how to pay them. And Eric, that's the great part, is most of these sales reps nowadays, they'll work on straight commission only, because that's where they can make the most money. That means you don't pay them anything up front until they've come with you to you with a signed contract. And then you give them a commission, a part of the setup fee that you'll charge the doctor. That's up to you, whatever you want to charge the doctor for a setup fee. And that could be, we've had people charge up to $5,000 to get a doctor in our system. And then you can give the sales rep, if you wish, a portion of the billing for, let's say, 6 months or a year after they've signed up the doctor. They love that part.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Folks, again, I think we've got one question that's another question that's come in is, Eric, you're asking, how do I know which field specialist? Art, you can go into really any specialty in medical billing. You could be doing cardiology billing. You could be doing podiatry billing. You could be doing regular family care or internal medicine, endocrinologist, any of these specialists that I've been sharing with you bill on what's called a CMS 1500. CMS stands for the Center of Medicare and Medicaid Services. So they've got this form called the CMS 1500 form. And if that doctor bills on a CMS 1500 form, you can do that doctor's billing. So many of the ones I've already shared with you are all right in that area where you can do the billing for that type of doctor.
Eric, let me put that list of specialties that we talk about in our training up on the screen. Now, folks, this is just to give you an idea. Look at all the specialties that you can market to. It's not just general doctors that are out there. You may not even know what some of these specialties are. I didn't when I first saw this list. But the point is that there are a lot of them. What is that? 4 or 5 dozen at least. There may be 100 different specialties that you can market to. So, Eric, I think I'll drop that in the handout section there so people will have that. But you want to target the ones that we know are the top 10. And we're going to tell you in our training exactly who those are to go after in your area. There are some that are more profitable than others and that are easier to sign up. So we'll get you started with those. And then some of those know other doctors in other fields that they'll relate to you as well.
That's great. Thank you for doing that, Patrick.
Yeah.
Keep going here. You're going to get tempted by some people about leads. And let us tell you a little bit about leads.
Free leads. Yeah, we know of one company that offers, hey, you sign up with us and we'll give you some free leads. All they are is lists that you can find on any public database. We have these lists.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could spend a lot of money just having leads and lists of leads. We call free leads or just dead leads. Leads, if you just kind of start going down the list, guess what? What is to say that the lead list that you got was not the same lead list that somebody else got? And they called those doctors last week to say, hey, I'm in medical billing. Do you need some medical billing help? And then all of a sudden you're calling them again. Well, what you're finding out is you're going to be bugging those doctors. So we know that a leads list is nothing more than the doctor just putting up their hand and saying, stop coming to me. That's what you're going to find out, because now they know that they themselves have been put on the list. And because they've been put on a list, believe me, any of you I don't think anybody on this call likes to be put on a list. So believe me, the doctors do not want to be considered to be on a particular list here. What they want, though, is you to educate them. And that's why we've spent most of this webinar so far on teaching you what you need to do to educate that doctor.
Yeah, and people ask us all the time, well, how long, using these methods, how long is it going to take me to find that first client? Well, we've had licensees complete our training and go out and do what we told them to do and get their first client in the first 30 days. But folks, realistically, this is not like it's not a passing fad of some kind. This is not a gimmick of some kind. This is a real business. Means that you might have to put in you might have to put 60 days or 90 days into the effort to find the first doctor. But since that first doctor can earn you back all of your investment in this business, it really doesn't matter how long it takes to get that first doctor. That's just a start. I've interviewed licensees who've signed up over 100 doctors. There's one couple that I interviewed that has a 7-figure revenue in this business, Eric. So you can build it as big as you wish, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a real solid thing that you build that will be here forever. As long as there are human beings that get sick, they go to the doctor and the doctor bills somebody. Somebody has to do the billing for that doctor to get that doctor paid, either the insurance company or the government agencies.
All right, so Christy's asking the question over here. All right, so Patrick, how long is it going to take me to get my training done?
The training is real simple, folks. Since we do it online, it's based on your schedule. So literally what we do is once you've signed up with us, we put you in contact with your instructor that's going to be teaching you exactly how to do this. And by the way, those are business owners themselves. They've been in the business for at least 5 years. They've taught our classes for at least 2 years, And so they're very well educated. They're certified instructors. They work out with you the schedule that you want to be on. So let's say you want to get the training done within 30 days. They can work that out with you. There are 10 modules that you'll be going through. Each one's about 90 minutes. So a total of about 15 hours of initial training. We call it initial training because we also have several, well, I'd say at least 100 hours on our licensee support site that you'll be able to go through that have other training that you can go through. These are pre-recorded that have been there for many, many years. Let me see if I have that one open here, Eric. I think I've got the licensee support site.
I'm gonna say I think we got a little bit of time here that you could probably just show somebody. Let's take a tour here of the licensee support site.
Yeah, so all the services that you'll be able to offer the doctors, we have each one of these pages, as you see, I'll just click on one. Here's Audit Guard. That's one of the services that you can order. As you see, there is a video there, and then there's a downloadable documents that you can go through. All right, so if we go to the next one, Auto Card, it also has a recorded webinar. Usually those are about 90 or an hour long at least. And then it actually has everything you need to know there, even more webinars. So every one of these has something in there. That's why I say, Eric, there's probably at least 100. I mean, I've just begun going through the services. Look, here's a whole section on marketing. We go through every one of the things that we just talked about on this webinar in this. And every one of those pages has webinars and handouts that you can use to learn more about those different types of marketing ideas. There's just, well, Eric, I think we've had the licensee support site out there for like maybe 14 years. Right. Anyway, it's a long time. And so there is a ton of information. I can't tell you, Eric, how people who log into this for the first time are blown away. They'll call me up sometime and say, I never dreamed there was as much out there as you guys have got out there. And that's a good thing, right?
Well, and that's where, why don't you, I think it's under resources there, Patrick, or tools. I can't remember which one, but where, let's see, to order the books so that you can see how to get your, yeah, the Thrive, there you go. Yeah, shows you how to get the book ordered, how to make sure all of your name and everything's in there, you know, what you want on the cover, any comments that you want to put there. So again, folks, we wanted to show this to you just simply because there's the ebook on how the physicians can get more money or more patients. So all of these different ones, there you go, marketing with ebooks. So we have got anything and everything that you can think of whenever it comes down to the marketing side of it.
All right. Well, Eric, we're also the only company out there that offers a money-back guarantee. This might be of interest to some of you if you're wondering, what if I make this investment and then I don't like it? So, Eric, a few years back, as you know, I came up with this guarantee and I said to our people, look, if we have what we say we have, people will see that, they'll understand it, but only once they've gone through our training. So all we ask is that people go through the training and see everything that we teach and then make a decision. And if you do that within 30 days, you can just ask for your money back. We'll give it all back to you. Have we done that, Eric?
We have.
Yeah. Just a handful of people over the years have asked for money back, but that's because we know what we're doing, folks. I'm talking about less than 1% of the people we've signed up have asked for money back. Right. What does that tell you? It tells you that we know what we're doing and that we do what we say we're going to do. But that's in there, in writing, in the agreement. Be sure and ask your ABS rep for that, and they'll go over that in detail with you, how that works. All right, let's talk about those steps to success. Eric, you want to talk about this first one?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the first thing you can do. We have a downloadable research guide. I think Patrick's going to get his copy of that. But we're going to get to, Rochelle, we're going to get to your question here of what you need to do. But this is part of your steps if you haven't already done that. There is a big research guide that has, I don't know, how many pages is in there, Patrick?
It's about 50 pages. This is information that's not anywhere on our website, by the way. We did this because we wanted only the people who are really, really interested, people who are serious about getting into the business. And this has a ton of information in here about the business, quotes from doctors, testimonials from licensees, things that you'll want to use in your due diligence of looking into our business.
Yeah, so get that downloaded. And obviously, the next thing you can do besides getting on a live webinar is going to see all of our past webinars. Patrick, I think you and I have been doing this since TV was black and white, it seems like.
I think you're right. And by the way, I'm going to show that, Eric, because we don't hardly ever show this, but I'm going right to the YouTube channel there just to show people. This is what it looks like right here, folks. When you go, you'll see that we have a whole section on testimonials, interviews with our licensees and industry experts, and all kinds of categories of playlists that are out there for you to find out more about it. On-site visits, when we actually travel to our various licensees who've opened offices, we go out and film them there in their office. There are marketing support, endorsements, software tours, and all kinds of testimonials. So be sure and go check that out. That's on youtube.com/YABS. YABS.
Yep, YABS. Mm-hmm. Yep, so go check us out over there on that. And obviously, the next thing that you can do is once you call a few of our licensees. I mean, Patrick, that's making ABS vulnerable because these are one-on-one calls between you as a potential licensee and going out there and talking with some real licensees. And they're going to give you, again, a very good overview of what they learned, where they probably talk about some of their mistakes, some things that they would probably do differently. But that's all to help you go into this business with your eyes wide open. And so that's what we want you to do, is go in and talk with some of our owners here. They're going to give you great information on what to do.
Yeah, and folks, these are real people just like yourself who went through the due diligence of searching out and finding out if this is a good business to be in. They started their own business. Some of them have opened offices that you don't have to have an office, but some of them have done that because they grew to the point where they wanted to have employees and so forth. And you can talk with those people one-on-one. We don't tell them what to say. They can say anything they want. We've got about 24 on the list right now, Eric. We rotate through people so they don't get too many calls. But the point is that you can freely ask, and those are probably better than just hearing you and I, Eric, because we can say anything we want to right on these webinars to try to sell people on our opportunity. But these people will tell you the good, bad, and the ugly of any business.
And folks, we're going to ask you to do a live demonstration of the iClaim and EMRX platform. Now, today we didn't get too far into, really about iClaim and EMRX. Obviously, that's the platform. It's a web-based platform. Patrick's showing it to you right there. But, what you're going to need to do is take a test drive. Get with your ABS representative that you're working with here, and they will take you on a tour of the software. You can see how easily it is for you to work with, the easeability it is for the doctors to work with, how to get it loaded on the doctor's computer. Because again, you're not really loading anything on the doctor's computer. It's a software as a service. Most, if not all, of our software is a software as a service. So you're not having to worry about updates or upgrades or patches or bug fixes or anything else like that. Every time you log in, you're logging into a very clean version of the software because, again, it's an online version of it.
Yeah, so just like most software nowadays, Eric, is cloud-based. That is, you just log in through a website. You have a username and a password, of course, that lets you get into it. That's what ours is. And so as you can see there on that illustration, you can run this on a tablet or iPad, phone of any kind, Windows, Apple, it doesn't matter the operating system. It's just amazing because there's nothing that resides on your computer. And I illustrate that like this, Eric. You could go to Best Buy today and buy a brand new laptop, take it to a McDonald's, set it up, and log into our system and start running your business anywhere that has an internet connection. That's the great part about it, is you literally, Eric, as you know, I've interviewed a licensee couple that had an RV. And they literally drove down the street here in America. They were visiting things in America, just touring America, doing their business. They had a satellite on top, I guess, that connected to the internet, and it can be done from anywhere. And when you take a vacation, just take your laptop with you and you can manage your people and your accounts and you can literally work in your spare time. Not that you want to work on a vacation, but it just shows you can, as long as you have an internet connection, which nowadays you can probably get an internet connection out on the beach outside of a hotel, you know.
Well, yeah, it's the internet connection is so much easier to get to than it used to be. But yeah, as long as you got internet connection, you log into the system. Once you log in there, you're in a secured area. So that, you know, for those that are maybe concerned with HIPAA violations or anything else like that, nothing's being stored on your computer. So you're good to go there. So the last thing that you want to do, and again, kind of getting back to Rochelle's question, is what do I need to do to get going and moving ahead? So the thing is to lock in your training. So you want to go download all of the documents that you're going to need to get started, fill that out, get that turned in, and get your investment turned in to ABS. That's what you're going to need, and then you can get started. And Patrick's showing you the training schedule right here.
Yeah, so like we said, once your paperwork is done and you've funded the business, we're going to put you in contact with the certified instructor that will be teaching you. This will be somebody who's been running their business and knows exactly how to build a business, and they'll teach you from scratch exactly what you need to do to build your business as well. It's based on your schedule, like I said, so we'll base it on the time that you have available. Maybe you can't get it done in 30 days. Maybe you can only do one module per week. That's fine, because there are some homework assignments that are given to you at the end of each module that you will take some time to do. So you can just go through it at your pace. This says 8 modules. I need to update that slide, Eric. It's there are 10 modules now, and they're all 90 minutes in length. That's your initial training. Remember, there's hundreds of other hours of training that you can go there on that licensee support site that's shown there. You can
I was going to say, we're going to be increasing those modules because we're actually adding more new services after the first of the year. So there is so much more that's coming about.
Oh, that's right. We hadn't even mentioned some of the new stuff that's coming in 2021, but folks, we've got some exciting, more revenue streams for you and for the doctor. Yes, we can actually help increase a doctor's revenue with some of the services that you're going to be offering to the doctor. Things like remote patient monitoring, for example. Uh-oh, I let the cat out of the bag, didn't I, Eric?
Okay.
Well, the point is...
Wait, what is that? No, this is all good stuff because, folks, everything's gone virtual right now. So we have tapped into some of the virtual care products that are out there. Some of that all of it's reimbursable for the doctor, and it can just really be very easy money for the doctor, but very easy care for their patients as well. So, and then on top of that, you're making money. So, there's money to be kind of spread around there for you to really help build your business too as well.
Yeah, and Eric, I know we don't want to go into detail about that new service yet until we get people on board and trained with all this initial stuff. But folks, we continue to add new things like that for you so that you have other sources of revenue. Let's say you sign up the doctor for the billing, and then we introduce another service that you want to go back to the doctor and say, look, we can do this for you as well. And so that's what all these other ancillary services are all about. Some of them can make the doctor another $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a month in additional revenue. Yeah, we can increase their revenue up to $40,000 a month. So you're going to be amazed when you see more about that.
Rochelle's asking another question. Once I make the payment, what's the time frame of getting a call to get started? Rochelle, if you'll do you know who your ABS rep is? And if so, reach out to them. They'll get you started. There's our phone number, 866-565-8413. Give them a shout. They'll walk you right through the paperwork, make sure that you get your investment taken care of, and get you lined up to get your training started. Hopefully you get started here before the end of the year.
By the way, I didn't get to this point, but when you're doing your live training, by the way, you can have one other person join you. That is, they can be in the same room that you're in or in their home in another part of the country. It doesn't matter. If it's a partner or a spouse or somebody that you want to participate in that training, that person can be on that training along with you. So it'd just be you, the instructor, and that one other person. The nice thing about that is, Eric, we used to do these trainings live. People had to fly down here. Nobody wants to fly right now, I don't think. And they would stay in a hotel for a week. Nobody wants to stay in a hotel right now. And they would learn from an instructor in a classroom situation. That sounds nice, but it limited the number of questions that you got to ask because you had another, 15 or 20 people in the classroom. This is just you and the instructor, so you can take all the time you want to ask all the questions one-on-one that you want to. Yeah, these sessions, it says first come, first serve. Now, what we mean by that, folks, is especially right here at this last part of the year, everybody wants to get started because they want to hit the road on January 1st, marketing their business to doctors. That's when doctors are looking back at the previous year and wishing they had done stuff different. And so it's a perfect time to get started. But those training slots are filling up very quickly. So if you're interested, if this is something that you have done your research, you've done maybe some of those reference calls we talked about earlier, just get back with your ABS rep and say, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's get me booked for that first training session and get me off and running.
You bet. Well, Patrick, let's put up that last slide up again there. Folks, remember that we have got the link for the webinar for next Wednesday already in the chat box area. Go up there and sign up for that. You don't want to miss that one. Why, getting started right now is the best time to get started. And give us a call, 866-565-8413. Patrick, it's been a pleasure doing this with you again. We're up at the top of the hour, and it's time to go to the next thing that we're doing.
Yeah, so folks, if y'all are interested in a business, I can't tell you how proud I am that we've built this business so that people from any walk of life can get started. It doesn't matter what your background is, your ethnicity, it doesn't matter anything about your education, your history in business. We can teach you exactly what you need to get this business going. So get a hold of us and let us help you get started as quickly as possible. Give us a call right now. There's people, yes, this is live. There's people waiting right there at that phone number to answer any questions that you have. So give us a call or email us if you'd rather. Just email us and let us know what we can do to help you do your due diligence. Thanks again, Eric, for being on here with me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. You have a good afternoon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye for now.